All right, what's going on, everybody? We're here for emergency coverage. We have a huge tornado on the ground in Nebraska. A huge tornado. By far the biggest we've seen all day. This is a large, damaging, possibly violent tornado. This is an insane velocity couplet. We are talking about gate-to-gate shear with this tornado being over 130 miles per hour, about 135 miles per hour. That debris signature is breaking the correlation coefficient. This is a large, violent, damaging tornado. Weather spotters confirmed. South of Whitman, Nebraska. You have to take cover immediately. You have to get a helmet on. Get to the basement. If you're in a mobile home, you have to get out of there now. You're not going to survive this in a mobile home. I'm just going to be frank. This is a massive, deadly tornado on the ground that will likely go PDS as we speak here. Huge debris ball in the middle of nowhere where there's hardly even anything to pick up, about 2 miles wide. Large, destructive tornado. We're here with Mr. Storm, by the way.
What's going on, everyone?
Huge tornado. If you pull up my stream, you'll see it.
Yeah, guys, you got to take cover now if you are in this area. And if you know anybody in this area, please just give them a call right now and make sure that they know what's going on. Make sure that they know where to go if they're in the warning. But, I mean, this is definitely a tornado that you can't mess around with. You got to go now, okay?
Yeah, for sure. This is your debris signature, guys. This is debris being picked up by the tornado. Little bit less impressive, this velocity scan, but still very, very strong. Again, very strong tornado on the ground. I genuinely have no idea how this isn't PDS. This is a really strong tornado. Oh my gosh, that freaked me out. I saw that. I was opening radar for like half a second. Mr. Storm and I just filmed something for an upcoming video, and I saw this, and I freaked out. This is a huge tornado, guys. I was not expecting this. This is in a marginal risk. I don't even think this is in our 2% tornado risk, and this is a huge tornado. I mean, we are talking EF2 plus easily. You know I don't pre-rate here, but this is a situation where it's almost a guarantee that this is EF2 plus, based on the amount of debris that's being lifted up into the atmosphere by in the middle of nowhere. It ripped right through Whitman. And that's the only town at hand. We have that much debris. So Whitman, Nebraska is likely just took some significant damage from this tornado, and it's heading south. So again, if you are in this tornado warning, you have to seek shelter in northeastern Grant County, northwestern Hooker County. Again, I have genuinely no idea how this isn't PDS yet. Very strong and possibly large tornado. I've not personally seen a photo of it, but just based on this radar imagery and the fact that it's weather spotters confirmed, I would guess that this is a very strong tornado. And again, this is going to go PDS any second. I don't know why it's not already. This is a ridiculously strong tornado. Would not shock me if this were a wedge. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. So, again, I can't confirm that or anything, but I'm just putting my general thoughts out there based on the reflectivity, velocity, and correlation coefficient. Large, damaging tornado. Oh my goodness. This is not good. And it rips right through Whitman, Nebraska. Yeah, I just opened up my YouTube homepage, and multiple YouTubers are live saying large tornado in Nebraska.
The correlation coefficient, literally, it just looks like a black hole. Like, that's how deep it is.
Yeah, especially the last couple of scans, 2 scans ago. I mean, it's completely empty. We're talking EF2, EF3 plus. I don't like pre-rating. I don't condone it, but that's almost a guarantee with this tornado. I'm just being honest here. Again, it's a little bit weaker now, but it is still a very strong tornado.
Yeah.
Again, this was a huge surprise. Very surprising stuff. Was not expecting this at all, especially not this far west. Oh my goodness, I feel so bad. These people weren't even in the 2% tornado risk.
Yeah, crazy.
Again, at this point, it's a little weaker, but it is still very clearly on the ground. There's your very deep debris signature. Very, very deep debris. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know how that didn't go PDS. That was a huge tornado. My gosh. I'm shaking right now. That was really, really bad, what we just saw happen there near Whitman. That wasn't even at its most intense point, though, so that's good. I can't imagine if there are any homes here southeast of Whitman what happened over here. This is really bad. And it honestly may be rain wrapped too, which made it even more dangerous. Unfortunately, guys, we're probably any minute now. If I pull up X, we're probably going to start seeing some of these stories come out of damage here from Whitman, because this is a very, very strong tornado. Yeah, I'm opening up my Twitter, and all I see is people talking about this. Holy crap.
Wow.
Huge tornado, guys.
Large cone or wedge?
Oh, wow. I just saw a photo of it. Small wedge. Low-end wedge. Like, close to a cone, but it's a wedge. Oh,
Dang.
gosh.
It was that bad?
It's a wedge. It definitely was. Oh, my goodness, guys. Look at this. This was tilt 2. This is what it looked like as it went into Whitman. I am speechless. I'm going to go ahead and pull up. Actually, I don't know if I can. Yeah, I mean, it's just a photo. I'm just going to pull it up. Here's a photo of this tornado, guys. This was taken by storm chaser Connor Healy. Go follow him. That is the tornado. That is a huge, beastie tornado there. It's just bright enough out there in western Nebraska where you can see the tornado. That is a monster wedge. That is a monster tornado, guys. That's insane. Mr. Storm, are you watching my stream right now?
I'm checking for videos of
Look at the I had the photo up for a second. If you go back, you'll see the photo.
Is it the one by Roger Hill?
I don't know, but I had a photo up of it on my stream. If you just play it back like 30 seconds, you'll see it.
Because I have one from Roger Hill where you can see the whole structure of the storm and with the tornado inside. And it does look like it's a small wedge.
I don't think this is the Roger Hill one.
Oh. Max Velocity said that it was unwarned.
It was unwarned for a while, and it is... Oh my gosh, it's down to radar indicated. What the heck are they doing, man? Oh my gosh, this is the strongest radar indicated tornado I've ever seen. What are they doing? There's such a clear debris signature. Yeah, I don't say this very often, but the National Weather Service is kind of making a dumb move right now. This is not... Oh my gosh, this is just terrible. This is... Did you see the... Here, I'll just send you the photo that I have, Mr. Storm.
Okay.
It's...
Yeah, I'm just prowling X to find any videos or photos of the tornado.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. I don't think you were looking at this one. You may have been, but I think this is a different one.
Alright.
Oh, crap. Yep. Okay, I just sent it to you.
Wait, is this near Mullen, Nebraska?
No. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, I have another picture of it.
Did you see the one that I sent you?
Let me check right now. One sec. Oh, wow. Yeah, I actually did see that picture somewhere.
Okay.
That's crazy. That's huge.
Yeah, that is a huge wedge.
How is that not PDS?
It's radar indicated. Like, are you freaking kidding me? This is the clearest tornado I've ever seen, and it's radar indicated.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, leave it at observed, but PDS for when it was at that strength is just...
Honestly, if you wanted to debate and say it was a tornado emergency, I'd understand. I wouldn't put it at a Tor E, but I'd understand people that would say it what should be.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't know how long track that's going to be, but that's a very strong and maybe even a violent tornado.
And we're still talking about 145 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear. I'm sorry, National Weather Service, but this does not make you look good. This is honestly pretty embarrassing here.
Yeah, and everybody is trying to figure out why the National Weather Service made the move of keeping this at radar indicated. That's ridiculous.
Again, guys, we're big NWS fans here. I support the NWS. I know Mr. Storm does, but this is just awful. Clear debris signature, clear insane velocity couplet. It's in the middle of nowhere, and it's still picking up enough debris to glitch out the correlation coefficient. Like, this is the clearest as day tornado as you get. It doesn't get more clear than this, so this is a tornado, and a strong one at that.
Someone said that a ranch was just obliterated by the tornado, and that's why the correlation coefficient got so deep.
Okay, so yeah, if it obliterated it, I mean, this is a strong tornado. This is a discrete supercell. I don't see this ending anytime soon. I'm sorry, but I just don't. Again, this is the most ridiculous radar-indicated tornado I've ever seen. This is insane.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Like, seriously, I mean, that's insane that that's radar indicated. There's even photos of it. Like, even if you somehow didn't get it from the radar imagery, there's literally photos. Everybody's tagging the NWS. Like, what is going on?
Someone said, no, this is how law enforcement tosses a house when they have a search warrant. Always looks like a tornado hits. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry,
That was...
No.
I was gonna say, that's kind of a dark humor joke.
Yeah, I know.
No, but seriously, though, guys, this is a huge tornado. Again, still breaking the CC. All that dead air in there, that green. That is... Oh, my gosh. This is a massive tornado. Again, this is just dumb that it's radar indicated. I don't know what they're doing. No idea what the heck they're doing. I don't know what they're looking at that's more important than this, but they need to... Honestly, they need to pay attention. I'm just being honest. This is really, really embarrassing for them.
Dude, everyone's, like, on it, too. Like, you're not the only one. Like, this is so bad that literally everyone knows that this is a mistake.
This is just terrible. This might be the biggest NWS fumble I've ever seen. They're gonna get in a lot of trouble for something like this, I can almost guarantee you.
Yeah. 60 dBz debris ball at 5,000 feet with nothing else to pick up. This probably did indeed hit the small town in Nebraska. So yeah, so someone on X said that the debris is being lofted 5,000 feet.
It looks to me like it's higher than that. I'm measuring right now. Let's see here. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, this is a Radar Omega tool that I didn't even realize I had access to for so long, but this actually, jeez Louise, man. It's hard to see where the actual... If that's the debris signature, then that is really, really high up into the atmosphere. Okay, I'm going to close this because this is really laggy, but you get the point.
You can tell how high the debris is on Radar Omega?
Yeah, with the Alpha subscription. Oh my gosh, what happened? What? Oh my gosh, it's showing a list of like 30 severe thunderstorm warnings. Okay. No, again, though, this is a ridiculously strong tornado that's radar indicated. That you will not see the NWS make a mistake like this ever. I don't know about you, but this is definitely the worst NWS fumble I've ever seen. Just being honest here. Yeah, Roman's in Florida, so I'm not going to bother him too much, but I sent him a photo of it.
Dude, the photographs from the region that this tornado is in don't even look like they support tornadoes at all.
2024, man, I'm telling you, it's 2024 atmosphere.
Yeah.
So again, there's your extremely clear, unwarned tornado. It's about to move outside of the tornado warning polygon. Now, that means they're probably going to issue another warning for this. I mean, they have to at this point. At the very least, they've got to put this at radar indicated. At the very least, they've got to put this at observed, but they're not doing that. But it's moving out of the warning polygon, so surely they'll put a new one out soon, and we'll see if that's observed or, what they're thinking at this point. Again, though, it doesn't matter what the NWS says at this point. This is a huge tornado on the ground. We have photos. We have radar evidence. This is a massive tornado. It's a wedge. It's damaging. It's probably, unfortunately, deadly. I don't want to throw that word out. I know that's a scary word, but this is a very dangerous situation for all you folks out here in this area. Again, clear as day, tornado on the ground, discrete supercell. I mean, it's weakening a little bit, but still. And I've also noticed there's another supercell with a hook echo already near Taylor, Nebraska.
Where everyone on X is so pressed right now.
Yeah, I mean, I see why. This is ridiculous. Okay, they issued a new warning polygon, and it's still radar indicated. Okay, I don't know what they're doing. This is crazy.
No way. That is terrible. Oh my gosh.
This is seriously awful, guys. I've never seen something this bad. This is horrible coverage from the National Weather Service. Horrible.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. I mean, come on at this point. That's crazy that they had 2 chances to do this, and they still haven't got this up to observed for the new warning.
And I'm so confused, because they had it on observed originally, and then they downgraded it at its strongest point. Like, it makes zero sense what's happening. Okay, it's weakening a little bit at this point, but it's still on the ground. I guarantee you that. Still gate-to-gate shear of 115 miles per hour. Debris signature. Like, what? I don't understand what can possibly go through your head to make you think that this is not on the ground if you're a meteorologist. And again, like, if two kids can point out that this is a large tornado on the ground and the National Weather Service can't, that is a bad sign for the National Weather Service.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me? Oh my gosh. So again, if you're just not tuning in, we have a damaging tornado on the ground, radar indicated somehow. There's a massive supercell producing what was a wedge tornado, at least at one point. Mr. Storm, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone on X says likely one of the strongest tornadoes of the year.
I don't know about that, but it's up there.
They like kind of like they trying to figure out like how strong it was, I guess, and they came out with winds estimated to be approximately 182 miles per hour, considering that this tornado would be violent. Which, I mean, I don't know if it was that strong, but if it was, then I mean that's terrible on the National Weather Service's part.
I have a reliable source in chat telling me that somebody said this was a half-mile wide.
Wow.
And again, it's much weaker now for sure, but you can still definitely tell that it's on the ground. There's a debris signature and a velocity couplet. At this point, I probably wouldn't even make it PDS, but obviously it's still on the ground, so I don't know what they're doing here. I don't know if they meant to put it at PDS and they just didn't accidentally or something, but this is awful. And again, even the National Weather Service is noting what the heck? Okay, this is so stupid. They're noting that there were reports of the tornado, but they're still not putting it to observed.
That's even worse, to be honest with you. Oh my gosh.
I don't know if they meant. I don't know if they meant to put it at PDS or not, but.
Is that like an error? Like, it has to be an error. Like, this is really bad.
I wonder what other people are saying about this. I haven't really been looking.
Everyone's just saying that this is stupid, but
I mean, it is. And it's still on the ground. It's still glitching out the correlation coefficient. Still a very strong tornado.
Whitman is literally like 6 roads large, and we already maxed out the correlation coefficient. So that just shows you how strong this tornado is.
And the chasers that are on, I mean, they're good chasers, so we're going to get reports on it. This is going to be big. Oh my gosh, it's getting stronger again, guys. Of course, they had to not push it to observe for one of the strongest tornadoes of the year, apparently.
Someone literally posted on X that this is violent, that this is one of the strongest tornadoes of the year, and then the National Weather Service hasn't even put this out observed, which is just crazy.
Everybody's tagging the NWS. I don't know how they're not saying this. They're noting that it's a tornadic supercell. They're issuing tornado warnings, but somehow they're not saying it's on the ground. That's ridiculous. Radar confirmed tornadoes exist.
It's kind of just weird because, we're kids and we're doing a better job covering this than they are, to be honest.
Holy crap, they put in another report that it's on the ground, but they're still not. This is ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
Again, this is one of the strongest tornadoes we've seen all year, and they're not even going to say that it's PDS. Or not even going to say that it's observed. Forget PDS. Again, whenever I talked to Mr. Storm before I started the stream, I said it might go tornado emergency, and honestly, they could push it to tornado emergency, and it would be more believable than having it at radar indicated. That's for sure.
North Platte, come on. This is really bad.
There's also a massive wind bag to the northeast of this that doesn't even have a severe thunderstorm warning. However, on the velocities, we're picking up over 80 miles per hour.
Oh my gosh, they are just overall just doing terrible right now.
85, actually.
We're probably going to start hearing things about that, too.
It's insane. And it's not like they're not able to issue warnings or something. It's not like they lost, power or something and they can't issue warnings. Because they are issuing warnings. They're just not the correct warnings.
Wow, this is really bad.
Again, literally any other tag would suit this better than radar indicated. Observe, PDS, emergency, whatever. Even if it was only observed, I would still be happy that it's at least getting recognized, but this is just awful. This is south of Whitman, Nebraska. Again, still glitching out the CC.
Everybody is tagging the National Weather Service. They just are not on this thing.
Again, just to, I'm willing to look past the NWS part of this point. We need to actually... Oh my gosh, what are they doing? They put the backside warning on observed, but they're leaving the one that the tornado's actually in on radar indicated.
Oh my. So now they've listened to the people, but they made an even bigger mistake, because now the warning that is about to be, or is outside of where the tornado even is the correct level, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, but at this point, honestly, I can look past the NWS thing. At this point, we need to actually cover this tornado. So again, if you know anybody in this area, give them a call or text. Again, large, deadly tornado on the ground in Nebraska, the panhandle of Nebraska here, south of Whitman. Very strong tornado even still. At this point, it's weaker than it originally was, but still, it's been on the ground for almost a half hour now. It was on the ground before Whitman even, so, yeah. Again, the special weather statement's horrible. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, we do have oh my gosh, this is terrible. Again, we are still measuring over almost 115 miles per hour there on the Gatesgate Shear. So again, we are talking about still a strong tornado here heading south. And it's glitching out the CC, even though there's literally nothing to pick up. So whatever there is out here is obliterating. This is a very strong tornado, guys. And I can't believe it. I just can't. We also have a destructive storm in Oklahoma, baseball-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Seek shelter now. Crescent, Midway, Orlando. You got to get to that tornado safe spot, even though there's not a tornado. Huge hail, damaging winds, wind-driven hail.
Near Arthur, Nebraska? Like, would you say this is near Arthur?
What? No, it's in Oklahoma.
No, like the tornado.
The tornado is kind of in the middle of nowhere right now. It is near Arthur.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm looking on X and I thought somebody might have been talking about a different tornado, but
The
we only
silver
have one on the ground.
the silver lining here is that this is in a very rural spot. Other than whenever it hit Whitman, of course, it had to hit the one small town out there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we have to pray that everybody somehow took the warning in Whitman, because that'd be really bad.
The good news is there was a tornado warning out, and that still sets off the emergency alerts. That they usually still activate the sirens for that. So the good news is that people are probably still getting the proper warning here. The bad news is if they see that this is radar indicated, they're gonna think, oh well, it's just one of these where they're saying there might be a tornado whenever there's not, and they'll sit out on the front porch because they're in the plains. Like a lot of people out here have that mentality. I'm not saying everybody does, but a lot of people do, which is not good in this situation.
Yeah.
And that's the fault to both the people and the NWS here in this scenario.
Yeah. But we don't know what happened, so I mean, by tomorrow we'll have a better idea of what did happen inside the town, but all we know for now is that it stayed radar indicated, but it seems like Whitman took a pretty intense, and maybe even a direct hit.
Yeah, I'm in shock. It's sad to see. It really is. It is honestly kind of heartbreaking here to see this kind of radar imagery and, all these pictures and videos and stuff. And then the NWS, the thing that people trust, fumbling this bad, that people are not going to trust the National Weather Service anymore, which is honestly probably one of the worst things that can happen to society out here. This is really bad.
The velocities got really bad at a point.
Yeah, and the debris ball was. I mean, it was about 2 miles wide, so it wasn't the biggest debris ball I've ever seen, but it was so deep, and it still is. It's crazy.
It's still on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, you guys, we need to be praying for all these people out here. This is a really devastating situation. This is a deadly tornado, unwarned. I mean, it is warned, but it's not warned properly. It's really, really bad. Again, still estimating gate-to-gate shear over 100 miles an hour here, so still got ourselves a pretty decently strength tornado here heading south. And again, the good news is it only ripped through one town, alright? It's not like a Mayfield situation where it's hitting, 14 towns in a row, but still, really bad stuff out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're just not sitting in, we still have a tornado on the ground here, unwarned, to the south of Whitman, Nebraska. This has a very deep debris signature here. And oh my gosh, now it's even more deep. It must have hit whatever's out here. Oh, there's one home on the Radar Omega map out here that it could have possibly hit. And that one home is enough to glitch out the CC again. This is ridiculous. Whatever is getting hit by this tornado is getting obliterated, guys. This is a serious situation. This is a deadly storm. You gotta take the warning and get to your safe place now. And if you're out ahead of this, I'd say stay up for a little bit. If you're planning on going to bed early out here in the North Platte area, I'd say stay up because eventually this is going to be, if it continues, in the general vicinity of North Platte, Nebraska. Now, it'll probably be off to the west, and again, it may even weaken out before it hits North Platte. That's a good possibility. But we need everybody in western Nebraska to pay attention here.
This is a tornado that can destroy your home. And so we just need you guys to take shelter and just take all precautions. Because this is a tornado that, once again, you cannot mess around with.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost as bad as it gets, guys. Very strong tornado, very dangerous, life-threatening tornado again, I'll say it. And now there is a severe thunderstorm running in Oklahoma for 80-mile-per-hour winds and baseball-sized hail. So this is an extremely dangerous storm as well. Heading for Crescent, Cimarron Valley, Cedar Valley, Guthrie. If this keeps going, it'll hit Oklahoma City. That would be a worst-case scenario. But we need all you guys to seek shelter. Very dangerous storm here.
It's so dangerous that if you stood outside, it would be equivalent to getting hit by hundreds of 80-mile-per-hour fastballs.
Exactly. I mean, that's
literally what's going on right now, and it would have. That's only just the wind driving it. I mean, if you're standing out there and just the speed of how fast it's falling from the sky, I mean, it's even faster.
Well, and it would actually even be worse than a baseball because a baseball's not made out of ice.
Yeah, that's true. So,
again, as it
is.
Yeah, as this warning notes, flying debris will be dangerous. Those caught without shelter in mobile homes will be heavily damaged. Expect considerable damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles. Extensive tree damage and power outages are likely. For some reason, they're not mentioning the hail threats with this, but normally it would say something like people and animals outdoors will be severely injured. Expect shattered windows, stuff like that. So again, if you're in this area, we need you to shelter now. In southeastern Kingfisher, northwestern Oklahoma, western Logan, and northeastern Canadian County.
I think I can hop on Omega, so I'll call you right back.
Okay.
Alright, 1 second.
Hannibal, Missouri. Right now you should be fine. I know you got some storms earlier today, but right now you should be good for the rest of the night, honestly. Apparently our storm here that produced our Wedge tornado also produced baseball-sized hail a little while back, 20 miles north of Whitman. Still a huge tornado, very deep debris signature. Again, that's almost as bad as it gets, guys. Literally capping out the correlation coefficient. Very dangerous storm here. An extremely dangerous storm, I would say. Again, radar indicated, according to the National Weather Service, but this is definitely on the ground still. Again, it's been radar indicated its whole life, but we've seen pictures, we've seen the clear radar imagery. Very deadly tornado ripped right through Whitman, Nebraska. And it's still on the ground. It's been on the ground for over half an hour now. It was on the ground even before I went live. So it's been almost 45 minutes now of a unwarned tornado. It was warned originally, but still about almost 30 minutes of an unwarned tornado. It never went PDS like it should have. It never went Tori like it should have. I'm going to say it should have went Tori. And, I mean, it's just one of those things where, I know everybody makes mistakes, guys, but seriously, they cannot be doing this. They're going to lose their credibility. They're going to lose their trust, which, again, is one of the worst things that can happen in this area, because this area sees severe weather a lot. The most in the country. Almost. So that's not good. And, again, I don't know what they're doing with this, either. I really don't. Over 100-mile-an-hour gusts being recorded with this special weather statement. And not even a severe thunderstorm warning. Ridiculous stuff. Absolutely just absurd. Now keep in mind that is elevated. But still, winds at the surface could easily be 80 to 90 miles an hour with that. Also, it's starting to develop rotation here. Holy crap, dude. Okay. So again, if you're just not sitting in, we have a strong tornado on the ground. Just crossed over the Whitewater Lake. About to cross over the Reed Lake. Doing very significant damage here as it heads towards Flats, Nebraska. So we need everybody in Flats, Nebraska to seek shelter immediately. An unwarned tornado there. Yeah, this is going to be, one of those events that everybody out here remembers for quite a while. If they got hit by this tornado, I mean, if they were in Whitman, they're going to remember this their whole life. It's one of those kinds of tornadoes. It's one of the ones that is going to be talked about for years to come. Maybe even decades to come because of what the National Weather Service failed to do. But again, either way, this would be significant news for a long time. Again, our storm up here near Seneca is also starting to rotate, but we'll see if that gets a tornado warning. I 100% agree with that, Cyanimates, 100%. Again, big NWS supporter here, but they're doing a very bad job with this. Again, still on the ground, still producing damage here as it heads southward. And they condensed it again, and they still didn't upgrade it. And this warning up back here is still observed. This is really dumb. Really dumb. Really bad look here for the National Weather Service. Not even any rain up here, and they've got an observed tornado warning. Like, that is ridiculous. No idea how this managed to happen. I don't know if they're having issues. Like, what's going on? Seriously. They're going to get in a lot of trouble with this. Oh, gosh. Just saw in... Oh, my gosh. I just saw the clearest... I just saw the most accurate tweet I've ever seen. I mean... Seriously, guys, it's hard to talk about this. This is a really sad thing to see. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been this frustrated on stream before. This is a really, really sad situation. And it's really emotional. It is. So... Again, I don't know what they're doing in this situation either. They're throwing in more reports. Are you actually kidding me? What is going on? There's no... So let's say they did this by mistake, right? There's still no way that at this point they didn't see somebody on social media saying that they messed up. Because they check their social media frequently. They have to. There's no way they haven't seen somebody saying that they messed up by now. So they definitely know that they messed up. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if they can't issue an observe warning for whatever reason, but they didn't make a statement on any of their social medias. So, again, really, really frustrating situation. Really sad. Really serious. Let's see what they have to say here on X. NWS North Platte. I don't know where with Mr. Storm went, by the way. He said he was going to call me back on his computer, but he never did. Yep, and they're not even talking about the tornado. Nobody is, and it's frustrating me. Nobody's talking about it. At least nobody's talking about the fact that it's unwarned. Why is Oklahoma weather trending, but Nebraska weather's not? That's just dumb. Yeah, I mean, with Greenfield, I was frustrated that it didn't go tornado emergency, but at least they were noting that there was a large and extremely dangerous tornado on the ground. With this, they're just not saying anything. And there's still a tornado on the ground here. very clearly. It's been on the ground for 45 minutes now. Over 45 minutes, it looks like. Again, worst NWS fumble in history. I'm just going to put that out there right now. I don't think I've ever seen something this bad. I don't think anybody else has either. Unless somebody can name me a time, and then I may be like, oh yeah, but off the top of my head, I cannot think of a single time that this has happened. Oh my gosh. Welp. Yeah, I mean, like, people are making jokes about this on X, but it's a really serious thing. And this is really, really devastating. No debris signature right now, no clear debris signature, but it could still be on the ground. So, again, they're probably not going to issue a warning out ahead of this, seeing how their last moves have been with this. So, I'm just going to say right now, this area, you should be in your safe spot. Luckily, there's no towns included in that. Just rural farmland and mountains. Alrighty. Well, that was terrible. Like, bro, what? What are... I'm so confused. So frustrated. So sad. So surprised. So scared. All these emotions are going through at the same time. I'm surprised that this happened. I'm scared that this happened. I'm mad that they didn't issue a new warning, or like the proper warning. I'm sad, that the tornado devastated a community. It's a crazy situation, guys. I think you guys know what I mean. Again, that is just awful. Again, that was an EF2, EF3 tornado. Unwarned, maybe EF4, but I'm not going to go as far to say that because I don't like pre-rating anyway. Alright, let's cover our double destructive storm in Oklahoma now that that's seemingly lifted. So again, if you're in Guthrie, we need you to be in your safe spot. Baseball-sized hail and 80-mile-an-hour winds coming your way. Oh, Mr. Storm finally called me back. Hello.
Are you still alive?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Sorry I'm so late. Just took a long time to get back, but I do have Omega now.
Okay, now you're good. Oh my gosh, 90-mile-per-hour warned storm in Iowa now. What is happening?
Okay, so what happened with the tornado?
Just never got warned. It's lifted now, but it never got warned. But now we have a 90-mile-per-hour destructive storm in Iowa.
Holy cow.
And it's confirmed, 90-mile-per-hour wind gust measured. So if you're in Oakland, Walnut, Avoca, Trainer, we need you to take cover now. 90-mile-per-hour winds with this storm that just ripped through Omaha. Omaha is devastated. They already got a massive storm earlier today, and now they got this. Gosh, these are... I mean, we're measuring winds close to 100 on radar here.
I mean, velocities are... I'm getting 96. That is crazy. Look at that boat from it. And it got worse. Now we think we just got 110.
Yeah, this is really strong.
Dude, this is going to go to 100. This will go to 100.
No, because remember, those winds are elevated.
That's true, but...
Also, that's contamination. If you're talking about, like, 110 on the edge of the thing, that's just contaminated.
Well, no, it's kind of in the middle, near Underwood.
Oh, what?
It's...
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, again, that's still elevated, but still, that's very strong. I mean, probably 90 to 95 mile per hour winds at the surface here.
There's another pixel showing 103 elevated, though, and that's decently in the middle. That's northwest of Quick. But either way, I mean, guys, this is a extremely dangerous storm, and Brendan Kopic is on this, so that's great that he's on it, but wow.
And again, I don't want to ignore our folks out in Oklahoma either. We have another destructive storm, 80 mile per hour winds and baseball-sized hail, which is arguably worse than this.
That's crazy.
Again,
Yeah,
it's not too often we see double destructives, but we have that in Oklahoma, and we now have 1,500 customers in Noble County without power, 800 customers in Payne County without power, so that destructive storm in Oklahoma is causing power outages, for sure.
we have a strong storm moving through central Illinois right now. It is severe warning. I do think that we may end up seeing an upgrade in these winds. Actually, maybe not, but there is on velocities, a little bit area of some pretty strong winds. So I don't know, just something to note.
Yeah, in the Green Valley area there.
Yeah, near South Pekin or Pekin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, you guys, this is similar to the outbreak we had. Oh, I don't know, a week ago. We had an unexpected, crazy tornado outbreak. We had an unwarned wedge, but that time it wasn't quite as much fault to the National Weather Service. It was hard to tell on radar, and there was only like one chaser on it. So, but this time it is the National Weather Service's fault. I'm just gonna say that they've issued a severe thunderstorm warning for what was originally our tornado. Like that matters at this point. Um,
This is crazy.
Holy crap, and these storms are going to be going for Greenfield, a community that does not need any more problems. I know they're still doing major cleanup over there.
They're actually under a severe thunderstorm warning as of right now. But if this, I don't know, it's going to be close. But yeah, I mean, this is bad.
Yeah, for sure. Where's the tornadoes in Iowa? We don't have any tornadoes in Iowa right now. We did earlier today, but we don't have any right now. We just have a 90-mile-per-hour wind bag rolling through. Tornado force winds with this storm here.
Yeah, soggy, very strong wind bag here. Gosh, and this, I don't know why this had to go right through Omaha, but I mean, do you think Omaha barely escaped the strong winds, like the serious winds? I mean, either way they got strong winds, but do you think that they might have escaped like the 80 and 90 mile an hour winds?
Yeah, I think the super serious of it was on the north side of Omaha, which is still a really populated area, but I think like downtown, like metro Omaha, that's not, they probably got missed, but this has been this strong for a while and we didn't even see it. It's been measuring over 100 consistently. Holy crap.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. There's like an area of like 5 pixels that are over 100.
And by the way, our wind bag with the special weather statement in Nebraska has multiple pixels getting to 110 miles per hour. Not even a severe thunderstorm warning.
What is going on?
I'm just going to say it right now. NWS North Platte, you need to get it together. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah.
So again, if you're in Thedford, Nebraska, you need to seek shelter. Unwarned wind bag about to come right through Thedford. Holy crap!
Literally doesn't make sense.
There's gonna be an initial burst of winds. I want you guys all in Thedford to know there's gonna be an initial burst of winds that's gonna down trees and power lines, but that's not the big one. The big one is back behind.
I mean, this is just crazy. Like, oh. Wow.
I saw Max Velocity was like freaking out on Twitter. I'm gonna watch a stream after this.
Me too, yeah. I saw the screenshot you sent me. That's crazy.
And he has all the right to be upset about this. I mean, everybody does, especially the people that got hit by the tornado. I mean, I wonder if they could legitimately get the NWS in trouble, like with like legally. I don't know if that's really. I don't know if they could really do that, but I mean, there's.
It's part of the government, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a chill guy, Max, and I mean, he really does seem mad, which he has.
I've never seen him get mad. Also, 3,000 customers in Douglas County now in Iowa in Nebraska without power now with our Omaha storm.
Yeah, so this thing is easily knocking out power. I mean, this is what a destructive storm is, and I mean, it doesn't seem like it might be on. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be on the same level quite as much as like the Houston event, but I mean this is gonna be close, and this is the storm that's going to be really causing extensive damage all across the region near McClelland, near Bentley, Peter, maybe as far north as Underwood, but Quick. I mean, all you guys. I mean, there is a ton of damage that's being done right now, and there are plenty of homes and streets out here. So I mean, this is just really bad.
If you look at the past 21 to 30 radar frames, you can see how fast it exploded. I mean, it went from like 50 to 100 in probably like 15 minutes there. That's crazy intensification.
Wow. Yeah, this thing is just exploded. I think it's at its strongest point at this. Like, it's still strengthening, so I think it's at its strongest point right now.
Yeah, and I was gonna say the difference between this and the Houston event probably is the top wins may end up being the same, but the differences are one, this isn't as populated of an area, and two, this is gonna be much shorter lived. If you look, there are storms out ahead of it that are gonna kill this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, all this on a 2% tornado risk day and a 15% wind risk day. Like, this does not happen. But this isn't fault of the Storm Prediction Center. Nobody was expecting this. Nobody. I don't care what weatherman told you. Oh, I knew this was going to happen. He didn't.
You could see all the outflow winds, like that first wind, like what you're gonna get in Oakland and Hancock, Carson, Macedonia. What you're gonna feel is a first gust, like a burst of wind. Davis actually got something like this earlier today. It's gonna be like a quick burst of wind, and then up next is the big boy. That's when you're gonna get the real destructive winds. But you could even get some power outages and some down trees potentially, and maybe even some tree limbs and stuff with that first gust of wind. But then the real one is back near McClellan and Underwood. That's where you have the 90-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah, so this feature here is what we call a gust front. I had one today. This one is going to be way more intense than mine was, but even mine, which was estimated by the NWS to be about 50 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts, maybe up to 60. This is going to be much higher than that. This is going to be 70 to 80, but even with mine, I mean, there were tree limbs down, there were loose objects being blown all over the place, so if you get something even, 1.5 times as bad as mine, it's going to be some pretty serious damage out there. I mean, I don't know if there's any reports out of Whitman, Nebraska yet that I'd say are catastrophic, but there are definitely some serious damage reports out there with buildings and stuff just being completely demolished.
Wow. These are straight line winds right now, guys.
So, just an update. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Council Bluffs, Oakland, and Avoca, Iowa. This is a life-threatening situation. 90 mile per hour, destructive winds, quarter-sized hail, for sure. All right, guys, we're back. Sorry about that.
Thank you for tuning in. But
Yeah, seriously, guys, the support has been crazy today.
please consider subscribing and leaving a like. But I think more importantly, have notifications on, because you could definitely find yourself in one of these kind of situations, and we're definitely going to be giving you some coverage, either if it's going to be Davis or if it's going to be Roman. But I mean, you really should definitely consider subscribing and turning on the notifications so you don't miss out on any of our streams, because like I said earlier, like I said just now, you could definitely find yourself in one of these situations.
Yeah, go subscribe to Mr. Storm as well. He's here helping
Go
me cover
after
this a
it.
lot. He also does a lot of forecasts. Yeah, Brandon Cop Extreme has a crap ton of lightning, which sometimes can indicate the intensity of a storm here. I'd also like to note something interesting. In McClellan, Iowa, the top gust recorded out of what seemed to be the hardest hit area by these winds only got 59 mile per hour gust. That's kind of interesting.
Wow.
So this may not be as strong as we think, but like seriously, I mean, we got a what's the word I'm looking for? We got a recorded 90 mile per hour gust, so it's weird.
Yeah. I mean, it could just be very isolated, you know?
Yeah, it looks to be pretty widespread though, based on the velocities.
It does.
By the way, guys,
Yeah.
our double destructive severe warning in Oklahoma expires in 1 minute. They're going to reissue it, and the reissuance will probably include Oklahoma City. So we'll see what they think the threats are. If I had to guess at this point, they're probably going to say something like 70 mile per hour winds and ping pong ball sized hail. Again, I'd like to know right now it's 80 mile per hour winds and baseball sized hail. Law enforcement reported wind driven hail shattering windows and crests in Oklahoma as well.
I mean, it looks like it strengthens. I honestly, if I were them, I would keep this at destructive. I don't know about you, Davis, but I would keep this at destructive.
The Oklahoma one?
What? Oh, you know what? Never mind. Never
Okay,
mind.
so they did go ahead and issue that warning. That is a massive warning, Polygon. I got it almost spot on. It was 70 miles per hour and golf ball sized hail now. I said ping pong ball, but pretty close. So again, if you're in Oklahoma City, we need you to get indoors and away from windows, preferably on the lowest floor possible. This is going to be a pretty dangerous storm as it heads your way, with wind-driven hail, again, being reported to have shattered windows. Again, you got to get away from windows at the very least. But yeah, very dangerous storm there.
Very bad. Well, yeah, we gotta keep our eye on this storm out here in Iowa, and also there seems to be a storm that is severe warning heading towards Des Moines, and yeah, those winds just got really strong. Now we're getting up to about 60 miles per hour, which is elevated slightly, but that's what we're getting on velocities. So just, be aware of that.
Another station's top gust record was 62 miles per hour. That was out of Council Bluffs. It really seems like these are like capping out at about 60 here, which is weird.
Yeah.
Because this is I definitely believe that this is a 90 mile per hour storm, just based on velocities, and that one station apparently recorded a 90 mile per hour gust. I'm not seeing it, but apparently it happened, but we're not seeing anything like that. The highest I've seen here, other than that 90 mile per hour gust, was 72, just to the north of Omaha. So we'll see, but
It still looks like it's strengthening.
yeah, it's weird. A lot of times in these situations, though, what happens is they get more widespread and strengthen for so long, but then eventually they keep getting more and more widespread, but they start to weaken out, just from past experience looking at wind bags like this. I'd also like to note we got quite a few flash flood warnings here going out for portions of northern Illinois, one of which is an observed flash flood warning here. This is for portions of Bureau County. For the Milo area, confirmed flash flooding, according to law enforcement, Route 40 is completely impassable due to flooding near the Stark County line and the Bureau County line. And again, we have flash flood warnings also going out for portions of northern and central Illinois, like Putnam County, Marshall County, Stark County, so big flooding there. Oh crap, I forgot I had my my warning counter still on. That is completely inaccurate at this point. Hold on, I'll fix it. Of course, as soon as I... Oh, wait, no, we didn't get a new one. Okay. Alrighty. So still waiting for reports out of our Whitman storm. Seeing quite a bit of damage. But it is late at night, so there's not a lot of chasers out there. A lot of them probably ended their chase just before this started here. Oh gosh.
And also, like, with that special weather statement, we got a new one, and it still has wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour in Penny-sized hills. This did not get a severe warning. Somehow, it still hasn't, and it's producing close to 90 mile an hour winds. But you can tell that these are close to the surface because it's so close to the radar site. So, I mean, that's just absolutely terrible for the National Weather Service here.
By the way, sorry just to cut you off, but Oklahoma City, you're under a destructive severe T-storm warning now. 80-mile-per-hour winds and baseball-sized hail once again for this small little corridor here. It does include Oklahoma City. So again, if you're in Oklahoma City, before we were saying, if you absolutely don't want to, then, I guess you don't have to take shelter. At this point, you gotta go. All right, 80-mile-an-hour winds, baseball-sized hail is almost probably the craziest storm you'll see other than a tornadic storm, right? This is as bad as it gets unless you actually have a tornado on the ground, so we need you guys to seek shelter immediately.
I called it.
You did. You know who James Pestis is?
No, why?
He's also freaking out. It's another weather dude.
Oh, okay. For some reason, it hasn't popped up. The destructive hasn't popped up on my Omega yet.
I also saw some dude talking about the 100-mile-per-hour special weather statement.
Yeah, I mean, this is really bad.
Again, they're going to get in a lot of trouble with the public.
Yeah, I mean, this is 2 misses that they've got now. Dude, the destructive storm hasn't popped up yet. I don't know why.
As for me,
It's still considerable.
it's for downtown Oklahoma City.
Yeah, it still says it's considerable.
That's weird.
That's really weird. I even, refreshed, or, closed out Omega and then put it back in, and it still hasn't worked. That's weird.
So yeah, we'll continue to watch our Iowa storm here. Again, as this notes, this is a destructive storm for not for all of it, but for most of, for all of it. For Pottawatomie County here in southwest Iowa, 90-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. This is the same wording that they actually use for PDS tornadoes. You're in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be heavily damaged or destroyed. Homes and businesses will have substantial roof and window damage. Expect extensive damage to trees and power outages. Under the precautionary and preparedness actions list here, we have: for your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. This is a dangerous situation. This storm is producing widespread wind damage across western Pottawatomie County. Seek shelter now inside a sturdy structure, and stay away from windows.
At this point, the 100-mile-an-hour winds are literally hitting the radar site, and we still don't have a severe warning on that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's just crazy stuff. So again, honestly, if you're in that special weather statement at that point, you might as well just treat it like a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. Again, I'm not sure why the National Weather Service in North Platte is not issuing any sort of warning for this, but if you're in this special weather statement, you need to be taking cover. We have close to 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this storm, and it doesn't even have a severe thunderstorm warning. I'm recording 122. That's elevated, and it's really glitched out too here because of how close we are to the radar site. It actually bumps up the wind measurement, but still 122, 123 even. That's crazy.
Yeah. Did they issue a new severe warning, as a one out ahead of the windbag that we're talking about, or is that a separate storm?
Let's see here. No, they just issued that, so it's down to 70 now. Okay.
So that makes more sense. And if you look on reflectivity, the presentation looks a lot less intense.
I kind of noticed that earlier. It looked like it was getting a little messy. And also, just an update here, our outages with our storm here are we're still getting more reports. We've got 2,000 customers in Pottawatomie County without power now.
And we still have that destructive storm in Oklahoma City. That's really bad right now. That's going to knock out a lot of power.
Yeah, and that's going, of course, to the most populated metro in all of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Just had to. So first it's going to rip through Edmond. All right, Edmond especially. I mean, that's going right in. Like Oklahoma City, it may go on like the eastern side, but Edmond, I mean, that's going right into Edmond. So
yeah.
Again, baseball-sized hail and 80-mile-per-hour winds. Not too often we see a double destructive. That's what I like to call these double destructives because they're destructive for both the wind and the hail threat. But here we go again, 80-mile-per-hour destructive winds and baseball-sized hail. I mean, that is, again, one of the more dangerous situations you will find yourself in your entire life if you're in that area. I'd say, I mean, in terms of the weather at least, that's one of the more dangerous storms you'll ever experience. Again, this has reports of shattering windows completely. They're saying it's, gonna knock out your power, obviously. I mean, we have so many power outages reported from this storm here. We have 1,500 customers in Noble County without power, 1,000 customers in Payne County without power, 1,300 customers in Logan County without power, so I can only imagine what it's gonna do to Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, the storm has officially been downgraded to 70 in Iowa. The 90-mile-per-hour tag has.
All right.
So again, we'll continue to watch our Nebraska windbag here near Thedford. But let's see here.
Brandon Copping is driving right into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, now both warnings have been downgraded to 70 miles per hour.
Yep.
Still a very strong storm equal to Category 1 hurricane force winds, wind gusts that we're talking about.
Yeah, EF0 tornado force winds, whatever you wanna say there.
And now, it looks like the west side of Greenfield is under a considerable severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, so I mean that's just gonna complicate matters out there. Again, cleanup has obviously been going for a while, and I think things are mostly better out there. I really don't know too in detail about the cleanup efforts there after obviously the strongest tornado ever hit, but I think for the, obviously, once you get to like a month out after the tornado, obviously the whole community's putting in their efforts, and I think things are probably mostly cleaned up at that point. Obviously, there's still going to be some damage out there, but
yeah.
What's up, Airborne? Again, if you're just not tuning in, we had a large, unwarned Wedge tornado rip through Nebraska. And by the way, that storm is still severe, actually, and it's still actually rotating a little bit as it approaches Hershey. It's warned for quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. But again, at this point, the NWS in North Platte is probably going to get quite a bit of controversy, I imagine, after that play there, after not issuing even an observed tornado warning for what was obviously a huge tornado on the ground.
And it does have a hook echo.
Yeah, it's had that ever since it produced the tornado, though, if you look.
Yeah. Man.
Crazy night.
Second.
So again, we still have our 70-mile-per-hour winds here ripping through the Oakland area to watch out for Griswold. But it looks like for the most part that threat's kind of dying out again. At this point, I'd say the only reason we're staying live is for our Oklahoma City storm. And some of the storms up in Nebraska just in case, the NWS fumbles again and doesn't, issue warnings for some reason for big time storms up here that definitely deserve them. Again, like this special weather statement here, we could easily have, 80 to 90 mile per hour wind gusts with this, and it doesn't even have a severe thunderstorm warning. So, we got to keep watching that and helping everybody out here through this. If you know anybody in this area, please give them a call or text. Yeah. Any damage reports? Yeah, can you hear me?
There we go.
Any damage reports? We didn't you say that there was like a farmstead destroyed or something?
Yeah, I did.
And there's likely significant damage from Whitman.
Yeah.
Again, it was a wedge tornado, at least briefly. So yeah, as we speak here, we got 80 mile per hour destructive winds ripping right through the western side of Edmond, Oklahoma here. So that's definitely gonna knock out power. It's gonna down large trees. It's gonna be quite the significant damage there. And again, that's gonna be the same as it heads into Oklahoma City. Yeah, it was a wedge, and again, I mean, it didn't even have a confirmed warning on it, which is crazy. Again, I don't know if I've ever seen something like that where the National Weather Service didn't even have an observed tornado tag for a wedge tornado. Except for, I do remember one instance of it, but it was a brief wedge, and it was hard to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are pictures of it. If you go back earlier in the stream, we had a picture. It wasn't like the biggest wedge ever, but you know what? It was actually reported to be half a mile wide. I don't know who reported that, but according to somebody in chat, it was a half a mile wide, which again, there's no way to verify that or not, so take that with a grain of salt, but
I just found a video of a rope tornado near Cedar Rapids.
I think I've seen the video that you're talking about there. It's a really beautiful tornado.
Is it near like a baseball field?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
I don't feel bad calling that beautiful because it didn't really do any damage.
Yeah. I have another tornado or another picture of the tornado, and it was a small wedge, if that makes sense. But
yeah,
definitely an extremely strong tornado, and not saying it was nearly as strong as Rolling Fork, but it does kind of look like Rolling Fork in the picture that I saw.
Well, and the debris signature was probably the craziest part of it. The fact that in an open field, it was able to pick up enough debris to break the correlation coefficient, the thing that's built to detect debris in the atmosphere. That is not a good sign. That was an incredibly strong tornado. Again, I don't condone pre-rating, and I don't do it a lot, but, I mean, come on, at this point, it's a guarantee that it's EF2+.
Yeah. Still tracking these winds that are ripping across portions of western Iowa, and then we also do have that special weather statement in central Nebraska that is currently seeming to produce winds that could be over 70, potentially even over 80 miles per hour. But if you look, actually, that they have died down very significantly in the recent hours, or recent minutes. But wait, David, do you see that little area of very strong winds near Halsey or Elsie?
Yeah, Hasley.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I mean, this is a crazy that this is only a special weather statement.
Yeah.
Wow, huge hailstorm here over Humphrey, Nebraska. Massive hailstorm. Getting about
Yeah.
74 dBZs. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Wow.
Only one for half dollar sized hail. 74 dBZs would be about lime to tennis ball sized hail, based on an unofficial scale that I built. I'll admit, but on a scale that I built, I that would be lime to tennis ball sized hail, which I'd say that's probably realistic.
Easily maxes out the vertically integrated liquid. So, I mean, a lot of storms do that, but we know for sure this is a very strong storm.
If you look, it even has a hail spike. So yeah, I mean, lime to tennis ball sized hail is probably a good estimate for this.
Huge cloud tops. Oh wait, no, that's with a different radar site. Never mind.
I'd also like to note we now have a severe thunderstorm warning for downtown Des Moines. 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts and penny-sized hail. It's not going to be anything too crazy. It's definitely not going to be anything like what some of the folks off to your west have seen today, but still some pretty big-time winds probably going to come out of there and get some hail. Also, an update on our outages. The numbers keep getting worse and worse here. We now have 35,000 customers in Douglas County without power and 7,000 customers in Pottawatomie without power. And then also, we in Adair County, which is the county that Greenfield's in, a third of the entire county is without power.
That's crazy. Well, they've been getting slammed by severe storms over and over again.
Yeah.
They're just in a train of severe storms. Man, 75 dBZs over Humphrey, Nebraska. That's crazy.
We also have a new severe thunderstorm warning here for northeastern Montgomery County. I mean, just an absolute train of severe storms here in southern Iowa right now, and even stretching back into eastern Nebraska. I mean, we have easily, 10 to 15, probably about 10 severe warnings in this cluster here. Again, overall right now, guys, we have 20 severe thunderstorm warnings, which is a lot to have at one time. That's kind of the numbers that we see in some of our more significant outbreaks. I know earlier today we had like 32, which is some of the highest I've ever seen, which is crazy. But
yeah, but at this point, Greenfield is under a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, and Winterset is under a 60-mile-per-hour severe thunderstorm warning. So, I mean, just kind of interesting to see that, but yeah.
By the way, our storm heading for Oklahoma City has been downgraded. It's no longer warned for baseball size hail. It's down to golf ball size. But I'd also like to note the 80-mile-per-hour wind tag is still there, so you should still be treating this like a tornado and seeking shelter immediately. 80-mile-per-hour winds are equivalent to EF0 tornado force winds. Category 1 hurricane force winds, whatever comparison you want to make, they're dangerous, all right? They knock out power, they down trees, they do a lot of damage to roofs and stuff like that. And even golf ball sized hail is still enough to shatter windows, so we need you guys to be in that tornado safe spot right now. Again, preferably underground, but if you can't get underground, just get into the middle of your house in a small room. Cover yourself up, if you can, with pillows and whatnot. Just get comfy down there. I know it's late at night, but it is a move that needs to be taken right now with this major storm coming your way. Again, I know it was unexpected for you. You're only in a marginal risk of severe weather, which is the lowest on the SPC scale. It's a 1 out of 5, but you got a big-time storm coming in that you'll remember for a while, I imagine.
I have a picture of a tornado near Battle Creek, Nebraska. I don't know if you knew that there was a tornado over there, but there is a picture of a very dusty tornado.
Was that... I know there was a tornado in eastern Nebraska today. I don't know if that was the one or not, but Brandon Kopic had it on his stream.
Yeah, let me look up where Battle Creek is.
Oh, Battle Creek. Yeah, that was the same one. I thought you said, Bethel Creek.
Oh, no. Yeah, Battle Creek.
Crap, still that huge hailstorm there over Humphrey, Nebraska. Still a hail spike, but you can't really see it because it's covered up by another storm. You gotta go? Alright, CSI animates.
It does seem to be weakening a little bit.
What's weakening?
The hailstorm over Humphrey.
Yeah, the DBZ values are a little lower, but I imagine they're going to go right back up. There's not a big difference between 69 DBZs and 70, obviously.
Yeah, and I mean, this is far away from the radar site, but if you look at if you look at the Blue Hill radar, they're back up to 70, as well as the neighboring storms, and the St. Edward storm actually seems to have a massive hail core on the Blue Hill radar site. So I'm just worried about that, and just these big three storms. I just do think that they'll all be producing some very large hail.
Yeah, for sure. So I'd like to note our pocket of winds approaching Oklahoma City just crossed Interstate 44. I seriously, seriously hope we didn't have any like truck drivers going in that very small corridor there at this time. Again, there's a good chance that we didn't just because of how small of an area that this swath is. Like this is a 5 mile swath, but there still could have possibly been truck drivers out there on Interstate 44. The good news is that it's 10:30, but obviously their job, they have really weird hours. So hopefully there were no semis in this area during this time, or at least they knew about this before they got on. They should have gotten the emergency alert on their phone because these winds are definitely strong enough to tip over semis. Even 60 to 70 are typically enough to do that. So whenever we start talking about 80, 85, obviously that's going to be enough to tip semis there. And again, these winds are going to go towards more interstates here, more major interstates as they approach Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
An update for our folks in the Thedford area. Gosh, dude, I don't know how this does not have a severe thunderstorm warning. Measuring almost 100 mile per hour wind still, and we have been for like the past half hour now on this storm southeast of Thedford at this point.
This is really bad.
Yeah,
I mean, North Platte, just get it together.
yeah, I don't know what's happening. Yeah, I know everybody makes mistakes, but this looks pretty bad, guys.
Yeah, still getting, on velocities, which they are slightly elevated, but still, I mean, well over 90 miles per hour, which is very dangerous. So keep in mind that this is only a special weather statement, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I measured multiple 98s there, which, at the surface that would be 80 to 90 probably, whenever we're this close to the radar site here, so.
Yeah. We do have a little nasty line of storms that's moving through northern Illinois. That's going to be moving down to areas near Decatur, Springfield, Woodside, Taylorville, and we'll see what happens with that overnight. But, it hasn't been doing too much, but there is a special weather statement with part of the line that's been, very strong recently, and I do think there could be some strong winds with that. So just keep in mind that, this could maybe pop off a severe thunderstorm warning or two tonight, but it's other than that, it's just going to be some fairly strong thunderstorms throughout the night as it moves farther south.
Yeah, and I mean, if nothing else, this is going to be a very heavy pocket of rain. Again, this is actually the same pocket of rain here that warranted our flash flood warnings up in northern Illinois. The same exact pocket. Now, it has gotten a little bit lighter in terms of its rainfall. But remember, guys, these areas have already seen rain. They got some intense storms earlier today, so they've already gotten rain. So, tacking onto that is not obviously going to end well here. Again, we've got some very, very heavy rain approaching Springfield, Jacksonville, points southward, down towards Carlinville, Hillsboro, eventually to the eastern St. Louis suburbs. So, look out for that.
They even get all the way. I mean, it might not. Might probably will not be that strong, but it could even get down towards area near Greenfield, St. Elmo, Effingham, Charleston. I mean, maybe, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And then we actually do have another cluster of some storms that's currently moving across the areas towards the Boot Heel of Missouri into far southern Illinois, and then this does also go through some areas of far western Kentucky. We have a little line of some strong to severe storms. One is special weather statement warned, producing a lot of lightning, but wind goes up to 40 miles per hour and half-inch hail. And then we do have a severe warned chunk of that. That does include areas in southern Illinois and then just into far eastern Missouri. But I mean, that's obviously a specific area. But anyways, just watch out if you're in the way of that line. That will be moving over towards Paducah, Harrisburg, Morganfield, Sykeston, Cairo, Bardwell, Mayfield, Clinton, and Poplar Bluff. Just be aware tonight for some gusty thunderstorms.
Yeah, and right now, that severe thunderstorm warning is going out for the Cape Girardeau area. Again, moving towards Tams, Donegall, a lot of the areas that Mr. Storm said it's going to kind of ride the Ohio River here for a little bit, but eventually it'll be fully into Kentucky there. Troy, what state are you talking about there? Burlington, where? Sorry, what were you going to say?
And then we have our little, I guess not little, but our big storm out here in the Oklahoma City metro area. We have a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, including Oklahoma City, so big-time hail and some very strong winds and potentially close to 80-mile-per-hour winds at max, so please be aware of that. And then we have a severe thunderstorm warning up south of Woodward, Oklahoma, and then one little severe thunderstorm warning that's up into the panhandle of Texas, just out by itself, not really doing much, but be aware of that if you're near Dimmitt or Nazareth, Texas. And then, obviously, our storms up into Nebraska. We have, once again, the 100-mile-per-hour, potentially a special weather statement, which is ridiculous. And then we have another special weather statement, now including North Platte. And we have our cluster storms out in Iowa.
By the way, the Oklahoma City storm is destructive, not considerable.
Oh, it's back up to destructive?
It's been destructive for a while. Did that warning never pop up for you? I know you said it didn't for a while.
It still says it's considerable for me.
Yeah, it's been destructive for like half an hour now. Burlington, Iowa.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew it was destructive at a point. I just thought it got downgraded at some point.
No, because the destructive one for Oklahoma City got reissued, and it didn't pop up for you. I remember. So Burlington, Iowa, you're in the severe thunderstorm watch right now. There's the potential you get some severe storms. It looks like you got some storms off to the northwest of you, kind of heading your way. But I mean, in general, they're probably just gonna pack a punch with maybe a brief 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. Nothing too crazy. So yeah, our special weather statement up there in Nebraska. I'm still measuring gusts at 100 miles per hour here. So again, we need you guys to be in that tornado safe spot. Again, I don't know if I've ever seen a special weather statement with 100 mile per hour winds. There's no way I have, but without a severe warning, I mean. So yeah, everybody in the special weather statement, you need to take cover. Or not everybody, but people still ahead of these winds here need to, obviously, which is a very small section at this point. But eventually these will be going towards areas in between Arnold and Anselmo, towards Myrna, maybe areas along Highway 2, but it's looking like it should stay off to the west of Highway 2 for the most part. It's heading almost due south at this point.
It feels so weird saying this, but treat this like a low-end tornado.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the surface winds with that could be up to 80 miles per hour there. Maybe an isolated gust gets up to 85 or 90 there, so got for that.
Yeah.
By the way, our storm in Iowa that was originally destructive, the Omaha storm, it is rotating a little bit to the north of Griswold, southwest of Atlantic.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
It's very broad rotation, but it could try and further develop. And the thing is, if it does manage to develop a tornado, that's going to be concerning, guys, because remember, we have this super high pocket of winds here, which is going to allow for this tornado to be on the stronger side of things if it were to develop.
Yeah, it's just a very strong storm in general. Has a lot of potential to do stuff, but it's coming into a area that we've talked about with famous tornadoes in the past. We're not going to mention, but there are two areas that are currently on your screen if Davis is pulling up the storm that have been hit hard by tornadoes. Not saying this will produce one, but just saying it's in a area that's been hit hard recently.
Troy already answered the Burlington question. I don't know if you missed it, but I already answered it, so just, play the stream back a few minutes. So again, Oklahoma City, they actually reissued the destructive severe warning. It expired, but they did reissue it here. So ping pong ball size tail, 80-mile-per-hour winds. Do you see this one, Mr. Storm?
Okay, hold on. I don't see this one. Oh, there we go.
And I'd also like to note it is rotating just a sliver to the north of Jefferson Park, along Interstate 235 there. So we could see a brief tornado, but you need to be in your safe place anyway. If you're in Oklahoma City, Midwest City, again, it's mainly going to be off to the east of Oklahoma City, it looks like here, but again, you should be in your safe spot in downtown OKC.
Oh yeah, I see that.
It's a little area, but it's developing pretty quickly, so we'll watch it.
I mean, are you sure that's rotation? Like, it could just be contamination, but...
Well, that was a thought that I had, but if you play it a couple scans back, I mean, I don't know, I personally think it's rotation. Let's look from the terminal radar here. Yeah, yep, it's showing something there. It's kind of cut out, but there's definitely rotation there.
Yeah, okay. So beware of that, guys. 1 second.
Holy cow, we had 28 viewers for a second. That's insane.
Wow.
Or at least I think I did, unless it was just a glitch.
Please consider subscribing.
Yeah, thank you guys. For all you guys that are new here, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. I go live for all the big, not even just the big ones, but pretty much every day at this point, every severe weather outbreak. Also, that rotation is still there, but it looks to be a little bit less obvious and confined, so probably nothing to worry about at this point in terms of a tornado threat. But remember, guys, that storm is still producing damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour and large hail up to ping pong ball size, so we need you guys to take cover now. In Midwest City, Spencer, Nakoma Park, probably already done that if you're in those areas, but Dell City, Valley Brook, if you haven't already, now's your chance to go. So this last dying pocket of winds here, it's getting weaker. I'll say it, but it is still there. That's the important thing to note. So it's final burst of activity here on the eastern side of the OKC metro. It's going to be intense around the Interstate 35, Interstate 40 corridor, that area. If you know anybody traveling out there, make sure to give them a heads up. It's going to be very dangerous, especially if semis are out there near them. So yeah.
I should probably go now, because it's getting really late here. So.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you for having me tonight.
Yeah, thank you for joining. You have any final words?
Just please, guys, don't get too heated with the National Weather Service. Obviously, we know that they made a huge mistake tonight, and they'll probably get a word or two from a lot of people. But otherwise, just stay safe. If you're under the gun for severe weather, even though it's not the highest of threats, take this very seriously, because you've seen what has happened in the past few hours. We've had a half-mile wide wedge tornado, and we've had, multiple areas that have received wind gusts that could be definitely close to 100 miles per hour. So, once again, just please stay safe, and yeah, that's it.
All right, see you.
See ya.
All right, everybody. So we're going to keep covering this here, as we still have a destructive storm in Oklahoma. Yeah, the storms did really ramp up while you were gone. We had a wedge tornado. I'm not sure if you're aware, but we had a half-mile wide wedge in Nebraska in a marginal risk area. It's crazy. And it didn't even get observed warned. But yeah, we have a destructive storm in OKC. We've also got a cluster of winds here to watch, which is ridiculous that it only has a special weather statement. Again, I can't believe what's going on right now with the North Platte NWS, where they're not at least severe warning that. That's crazy. But yeah, again, everybody makes mistakes, so it's just important to note that, they do a great service for this area, and, not everybody's perfect, so nobody's perfect. So that's just something to note there. Obviously they made a huge mistake. They did. And, they're probably going to have some repercussions from that, at least by the public, if nothing else. But again, just remember, they are the ones keeping us safe in times of severe weather, keeping us informed. So obviously we don't want to ignore them too much. Ignore them. What? I was going to say, we don't want to, not trust them, obviously. They're obviously the most reliable weather coverage that we get here in the United States and probably in the entire world. So, all right. So still a destructive storm here for Oklahoma City, Midwest City. At this point, it's probably going to get downgraded soon. They're probably going to remove that destructive warning and just keep it at a considerable one. Again, thank you guys for all the crazy support on this stream here. So far oh my gosh, this is my most viewed stream ever for while it's live. Wow, even more viewed than my my really long streams. I guess this is a pretty long stream, but 329 people have tuned in so far. This has been watched over 17 hours. That is crazy. You guys are the best fans I could ever ask for. You guys are amazing. So we'll continue to watch our OKC storm, continue to watch our Nebraska storm, continue to watch our Iowa storms. Just so much to watch out for right now. And, just storms all over the place today. Unexpected ones. Well, we were expecting them, but we were not expecting them to be this strong, that's for sure. So they did issue a new severe warning for OKC as well as Norman's now. So Norman, you're included in this ping pong ball sized hail, 60 mile an hour damaging wind gusts. So if you're in Norman or Oklahoma City, Newcastle, Moore, make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows immediately. Yeah, lots of devastation in the Midwest and the plains today. And we have hundreds of thousands of people without power across the Midwest. We have reports of complete destruction of structures. Really sad stuff to see. Again, most of it coming from the Nebraska area, but a lot of the damage spills back into, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas even, Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, even Michigan, Wisconsin. So, obviously, pretty sad stuff to see out there today. Really, Michigan and Wisconsin didn't get hit today, but they got hit yesterday by the same system. So yeah, even up into South Dakota, we had really intense storms, and that is actually how we started our last stream. Not this stream, but one of our other streams was with that cluster of storms up there in South Dakota. Even that one, which didn't look nearly as intense as these, still went on to produce very destructive winds and very large hail. Golf ball-sized hail, 70 to 80 mile per hour winds, so insane stuff, obviously. Alright, so this pocket of winds here is exiting the special weather statement. If they don't at least reissue a special weather statement for this, then that is absolutely ridiculous. Again, they should issue a severe thunderstorm warning, no doubt about it, but if they don't at least give it a special weather statement, that's just crazy. That's actually insane. Expires in 2 minutes, and it's leaving the polygon, so we'll see here. Again, still watching this area of rotation near Atlantic, south of Atlantic here. Approaching Cumberland, Messina, Bridgewater, Fontanelle, Greenfield, Norway Center, Bari, Prussia. Still have that destructive storm for Oklahoma City. We have a considerable, a destructive, and a regular severe warning all in the same place. Looks like these winds are starting to spike again. Final burst of activity here, it looks like, near Midwest City, southeast of Midwest City there. Actually, I noticed it's a new pocket of wind, so we have another one trying to develop as that one dies. Oh my gosh. We have been live here for so long, folks, and we're not even done. Again, very destructive winds up to 80 miles per hour rolling through the OKC suburbs right now. Close to Interstate 40. Jeez, look at all these residential homes areas out here. That's crazy. This is not good. 3,000 customers in Logan County now without power. 1,000 customers in Noble County without power. 800 customers in Payne County without power. 400 customers in Kingfisher County without power. No reports of Oklahoma County without power yet, which is kind of surprising. At least not according to Radar Omega here, their power outage tracker map. Okie dokie. Welp. Just keep doing what we're doing here. It's all that we can really say at this point. Luckily, a lot of our warnings here are expiring. We're down to 12 severe thunderstorm warnings across the United States right now. Let's go and update that there. Sorry, I'm not updating it that frequently. Keep forgetting. You know, it's a new thing. So eventually I'll learn to remember it more. But for right now, it's going to be spotty off and on. And, you know, I can't update it every second, every single time we get a new warning or lose a warning in an event like this. But I'll try to do my best. But whenever we have, you know, this many warnings at once, it's kind of impossible to keep up with it all, while also trying to bring live coverage to you guys at the same time and trying to keep a good stream going. So it gets really messy. So I have to, you know, prioritize certain things over others. And I feel like the warning counter is one of the things that, you know, isn't quite as concerning, because also if I just bring this up, you guys can see how many warnings there are. So, and I do that a lot. But anyway. I didn't think that it adds that nice touch to the stream, though. That's it's kind of been missing for ever since I started streaming. It felt kind of bland. I feel like this is a good upgrade to do. And, you know, it doesn't make the stream laggy in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't, you know, cost me anything to do it. It's not, like, super weird or glitchy. OBS is just amazing. So we have a hail spike on our North Platte, Nebraska storm. That's crazy for only having, you know, DBZ values in the 60s here. 63 max, that's crazy. Hail spike. Maybe the lowest DBZ hail spike I've ever seen. It's kind of been there for a while, I just haven't noticed. Again, that's our cell that originally produced the Wedge. So they did at least reissue the special weather statement. Oh, no, they didn't. So we have, oh, that's great. We have unwarned 110 mile per hour winds right now. Now, those are elevated winds. The surface winds are closer to 80 to 90 miles per hour, but still, that's really bad, guys. Gosh. Again, hopefully this is a situation where they learn from their mistakes and we don't have to ever deal with something like this again, but while it's here, it's sad to see. Now, I do think that these winds may not be quite as high as we think they are, because we haven't gotten any reported outages yet. And also, we haven't gotten any recorded gusts yet, but those those things could just be partially because this is a very rural spot. So, I don't know. But I don't think the winds are really quite as high as we think they are. Also starting to see some rotation kick up here, though, off to the southwest of Dunning, southwest of Linscott, closer area there. Still really hard to name a place whenever it's in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, we're up to 14 severes again. So go ahead and update that quickly. Eventually I'll get really smooth with those, but everything that people are good at, they had to practice for. Okay, so we do have some wind damage reported out of Edmond. We have reports of power poles down and tree limbs broken, but I'm sure that's only the beginning of what we're going to see here out of this area. I imagine there's going to be some pretty bad photos here. Again, this pocket of winds, there's kind of a new one that's surged up here from our other one that died out. We really thought we were going to be done here, but that wasn't the case. Just because the other one was dying out, I thought we were done, but nope. And guys, this is going right into the radar site, so this is going to be a really bad situation if these winds hit the radar. Hopefully it doesn't get knocked out. Seriously, that's going to be really bad if we have something like that going on without radar to see it. It's a yikes. So again, if you're just now tuning in, we've been live for almost 2 hours now covering wedge tornadoes, 90-mile-per-hour winds, baseball-sized hail. It's been crazy stuff that we've been seeing here. A major surprise tornado outbreak has occurred today. Jeez Louise, man. Can't believe it. And we're going to be here live tomorrow, bringing you guys severe weather coverage for the Northeast. And we're also going to be live here on Thursday, bringing you guys severe weather coverage for the Northern Plains. So yeah, lots of severe weather coverage coming up here over the next several days. Probably not going to be any streams on Friday. It's a maybe. If there is one, it'll be really late into the evening time hours. But I'm not sure the timing for Friday's event. All the details are really iffy on Friday's event. In fact, it's questionable whether or not there's going to be an event at all, but because of the pattern we're in, there's also almost guaranteed to be one at the same time, so. Yeah, I've kind of looked ahead towards Friday because I knew I wasn't going to be able to go live for most of the day, and it's looking like Friday could be an evening time event, so there may be a stream or two on Friday, but again, I'm not going to be able to go live for most of the day. But in reality, let's be real here, I'm going live. I go live every day, even whenever I say I probably won't. Funny story, some folks up there into Canada are going to get some big-time snow soon. We got a big-time severe weather system that's going to bring severe weather to Canada and then eventually the U.S., but it's also just briefly going to be cold enough in some spots of Canada to pack some heavy, heavy snow. Now, it's going to mix in with all that rain, so it's not really going to accumulate, but that's still crazy to think about, that we're going to have the potential for snow in what's going to be late June into early July. That's insane to think about. And it's really not too far from the U.S. It's in southern Canada, so southwest Canada. But anyway, I feel like the town of Whitman got leveled. I'm not hearing anything, so I'm worried about damage. Well, the good news is the tornado was not really quite as strong as it went through Whitman as it was later on in its lifespan. I can promise you it did not get completely leveled, alright? We're not talking about that kind of tornado. Unfortunately, I can't really guarantee anything else because it's nighttime. We don't have any, storm spotters or chasers out there right now. They've all been out here in eastern Nebraska because we weren't expecting anything in western Nebraska. So we know that a farmstead or something was completely destroyed, or mostly destroyed, but that's all we know. So another good sign, however, is that we don't have any power outages here on our power outage map, but Whitman's such a small town that even if everybody in the town was without power, there may have been there may not have been enough to, even track on the power outage map. It's a pretty small county overall, though, so we'll see. No, there is good news, I promise. It's, yeah, I mean, obviously we need to make sure that we're praying and hoping for those people there, but the good news is it definitely wasn't, some mass casualty event. The good news is it was a very small town. Another piece of good news is, again, it wasn't as strong as it could have been whenever it hit. Again, it strengthened later in its life. So there are plenty of good things to take away from this. Again, obviously, it's overall still a really bad situation and a really sad situation to see, but there are good takeaways that, you can look at in this perspective, and that definitely helps to, make it a little less sad and scary for all those people. So our storm here in OKC has been downgraded to ping pong ball sized hail. I think it was golf ball on the destructive warning, but it's still in effect. They let the considerable one expire. But yeah, still watching this destructive storm here in Oklahoma City. Still watching our unwarned extreme windbag in Nebraska. Still watching the aftermath of the Whitman tornado. Still watching the aftermath of our Iowa windbag and the continual effects of the Iowa windbag. Even we're still seeing 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts with that towards Atlantic. Did the National Weather Service in Omaha really call out North Platte? Is that true? Or are you just making up something? Because that's crazy. Okay. So yeah, guys, I mean, it's been a long, sad night here on this stream. And it's continuing to be with a very destructive storm rolling through the most populated metro in Oklahoma. And we already have reports of significant damage and also lots of power outages. We've got 25% of Noble County without power, which it's a big county, so not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. Alright. Gosh, dude. At least this storm here got its special weather statement again. Honestly, it really may not be 80 to 90 mile per hour winds, because here's the thing. There's no way winds of that magnitude could last that long in this environment. It's just not possible. Alright, it's not. Well, maybe it's possible, but it's extremely implausible. Yeah, I did not have a potentially violent tornado on my bingo card either. Especially to marginal risk. Yeah, no way. Yeah, nobody was expecting this. Not even the National Weather Service, not the Storm Prediction Center, not, I mean, I don't know about the local news people out here, but I can almost guarantee you they didn't say, oh, we're going to have the chance to see violent wedge tornadoes today, because this was a marginal risk zone. New severe thunderstorm warning here in Iowa, southern Iowa. Iowa just continues to get battered here. By the end of the Iowa event here, we're going to have all these counties here in the southern half of the state, most likely, or at least most of them, colored in. We can already see a lot of them in the far southern portions of the state without power there. And it's only going to get worse as those windbags continue to roll through. Up to 17 severe warnings now. Okie dokie. Well, still here. Still got a destructive storm. Okay, so we do have some outages now in Oklahoma City. It looks like we already have 12,000 customers in Oklahoma County without power. That's insane. And it's only going to get worse. Unfortunately. Look at all these customers in the Texas Panhandle without power, by the way. We didn't talk a lot about the Texas Panhandle today. We referenced it a few times, but we still have strong storms ongoing out there in the southwest portion of the Texas Panhandle. We got lots of outages in the Amarillo area. 3,000 customers there in Potter County without power. A lot of these counties are very rural, so even though these show outages, it's based on it's percentage based, and there's not a lot of people out here, so it's not too many people without outages, luckily. But yeah, a lot of people that did get hit by it did get their power knocked out. It looks like. So again, oh my gosh, those winds are going right into the radar. But you know what? I mean, our storm up here in Nebraska, the winds also went right into the radar site, and it was fine. So we'll see. We'll see here. And I think this is a glitch at this point. There's no way that we've had 100-mile-per-hour winds ongoing for this long in Anselmo. And even if we did, we'd have reports of damage. We would have the outage map going crazy. So I don't think those are actually real winds there. New flash flood warning for Oklahoma City. These storms have piled on enough rain to warrant a flash flood warning. So if you're in central Oklahoma County, turn around, don't drown. That's in effect for the next 3 hours. Now that severe warning for 80 has expired, and they didn't reissue it yet, but we're going to wait and watch to see what happens there. Okay, they did reissue it, and it's back up to 80. Oh my gosh. Or it's still at 80, rather. Just as I changed the title to 70-mile-per-hour winds in Iowa. It's going right back to 80-mile-per-hour winds in Oklahoma. Or, actually, it was Nebraska, but anyway. Now it's Oklahoma. Again, in the most populated metro in Oklahoma. Why? One of the biggest metros in the entire country. Wow. Cannot believe it. Again, if you're just not tuning in, we are watching a destructive storm roll through southeastern Oklahoma County, northeastern Cleveland County, and northwestern Pottawatomie County in central Oklahoma. 80-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail are approaching Stella. So if you're in Stella, you need to be in that tornado safe spot. Same thing with Pink, Denver, Franklin, Little Axe, and Lake Thunderbird. And we've also got a flash flood warning here for Oklahoma City now. We've been live for 2 hours at this point. And this has, again, been my most watched stream while it had happened of all time. Like, obviously, after the stream's over, some of them have gotten way more views than this, but 400 people tuning in while it happens, that's insane. 385 is the number right now, 19 and a half hours of watch time. You guys are the best. Even only within the past half of the stream, 119 people have tuned in, and the past half of the stream was not nearly as active as the first half, so you guys are insane. So, again, just continue to watch all this activity here. We are down to 10 severe warnings, which is good news. But again, we can't end stream while there's still 80-mile-per-hour winds, hurricane-force winds ripping through the most populated metro in a state. We just can't do it. So we're going to be here live as long as necessary. Especially to watch these storms up in NWS North Platte, because obviously, they have not had the greatest track record today, and I don't want to sound snarky and be like, oh, they don't know what they're talking about, because they do, but they just haven't done a great job today overall. I'm just being honest. But, yeah. Okie dokie. The good news is we didn't lose our radar site here. We'll say it's where the velocities haven't gotten updated, but the reflectivity has, so we're still getting updates here. None of the other products have gotten updated, though. Crap, I may have jinxed us. I mean, it had already happened, so I didn't jinx us, but that's not a good sign. Oh, okay, never mind, they're back. I was going to say, why is the reflectivity updating then if the radar's knocked out? But it's not. Somehow it survived that like a beast. I mean, it's not like it's crazy that it survived that, but it's good. I just kind of thinking there's probably a 30 or 40% chance that got knocked out, so it's a good thing that it didn't. Definitely a better chance that it survived than it getting knocked out. So it's not that surprising, but okay. Anyway, oh my gosh, dude. Look at all those outages now in northern Missouri and southern Iowa. 60% of the customers in Schuyler County, Missouri without power. That is just an incredible looking storm, guys. And by incredible, I mean very dangerous. Again, knocked out tens of thousands of customers' power here in northern and central Oklahoma already. So as it heads south, if you're ahead of this, you need to prepare, alright? Have multiple ways to receive alerts if you do plan on going to bed, so that you'll be woken up. You need something where you'll be woken up easily if, there's an alert that you need to take seriously. So, just something that'll wake you up, whether it's the emergency alert on your phone, the emergency alert on your TV that you have going, that you're falling asleep to. Wouldn't recommend the tornado sirens. Sometimes they're pretty faulty, and sometimes they don't go off for damaging wind events anyway. Because again, it's not tornadoes that we're worried about, guys. It's damaging winds for southern Oklahoma here in central Oklahoma. Central and south central Oklahoma. In the path of those. Oops, almost had the counter on 1 there. Alrighty. So again, if you're just not sitting in, we have been live for over 2 hours now. We currently have a destructive storm rolling through central Oklahoma that we're watching here as it continues to produce 80-mile-per-hour destructive winds and quarter-sized hail in the Stella area. So if you're in Stella, Pink, Denver, Franklin, Little Axe, Lake Thunderbird, you got to seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a building, interior room, and away from windows. I do think that if that doesn't do something crazy over the next few minutes, we are going to start to wrap up here because it's late. I'm tired. Everybody in my house is asleep. I need to finish off soon so that I'm not too obnoxious. And I need to get some rest myself for tomorrow's event, and Thursday's event, and Friday's event. New severe thunderstorm warning for Omaha, quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. I'm surprised we don't have a flash flood warning here yet with all the pile-on of this rain here. And the rain we got earlier today in that area being extremely heavy. Baseball-sized hail, even not even just rain that we had earlier in that area today. In the Omaha region. The Omaha metro. Alrighty. Again, waiting for more reports here out of Whitman. Really sad stuff that happened over there. If you're not aware, we had a large tornado tear through a town that didn't even get warned as a confirmed tornado, even though it may have been one of the largest and strongest tornadoes we've seen all year. So, okay. Apparently there's reports of softball-sized hail out of the NWS North Platte area, too. It's a shame, honestly. They should be shamed for what's happened tonight. Hopefully they have something out about this tomorrow, you know. They gotta explain themselves, they really do. Okay. So guys, after multiple hours of live severe weather coverage, we are finally ending off the stream here in a comfortable spot where we don't have really too much going on except for that one destructive severe thunderstorm warning. So I want to thank you guys for all tuning in. Thank you for making this my most watched stream ever while it happened. Keep breaking records on this channel, and I really do appreciate it, guys. You guys are the best audience I could possibly ask for. We've had 400 people tune in this stream. That's insane. Over 20 hours of watch time while it happened. Again, you guys are the best fan base I could have asked for. I know it's cheesy and everything, but it's true. So again, thank you guys all for making this possible. Thank you guys all for sticking around. Hopefully we helped save some lives today. It's a shame what happened today, it really is, but nothing we can do about it now. So remember, before I end off here, everybody makes mistakes, but we have to learn from them. So that's going to be my final word.